you've never seen a snake vagina and/or a snake penis.
That's valid.
But I've never looked.
But I've seen a snake in their mouth. I mean,
you're face fucking.
Yeah, face fucking. You guys didn't say.
Are you gonna defang it
That's
first?
what I was gonna say. You
Like that thing. That's gonna be
a toothy one.
a dangerous
one fang.
to go.
Just to keep me honest.
You have to keep him honest. Welcome back to another episode of You Can't Say That.
You can't say that.
You can't fucking say that.
Oh, I didn't know I can't say that.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh
Why'd you,
God.
David, you can't say it. All right, guys, so this is fucking David Westgate, all right? A stand-up comic, local around here. He's a fucking man. He's also bald, and he also came over here with his zipper down because I think he wanted to kind of, you know what I mean?
I thought you can't say that.
It's a secondary. It's a secondary task.
Little did he know that I actually did it while he was getting his drink. I unzipped it, you know?
Well, I propositioned you, and you turned me down right away. So
You know, listen, I'm a little hard to get.
What
You know,
the
you don't
fuck,
fucking,
Manny?
you know? Yeah. Listen, you
Thought
don't
were a
go...
giver.
Listen, when you go hunting, you don't want the deer to fucking just lay down for you. That's not hunting. That's just receiving deer. You know what I mean? You want them to fucking run around. You got to play a little bit of sport, you know? I'm just playing a little bit hard to get here, David, okay? So excuse me.
I would like to just receive some deer. That'd be fucking amazing.
You can have this deer meat over here. That's what
Just go to the supermarket.
you know?
That one has antlers on it. I don't know.
No, but welcome, man. You're
you.
officially our first guest, you know?
Awesome. Thanks for having me. This is great.
Yeah,
Thanks for saying yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No problem.
Most people
Hey,
say...
have you been denied by a lot of people?
We got one restraining order and 4 rejections, so I don't think it's...
I'm like the 13th person you asked. You're like, all right, yeah. Thanks for being the first.
yeah. You're the first guest that accepted it. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So when did you start doing comedy?
It's been close to a year and a half now. I'm still a baby, you know. Just like, I mean, you're still a baby. You haven't been doing it that long, right?
No, like 7 months.
Yeah, 7 months. Manny, you've been off and on, right?
Yeah, for like 38 years, bro. You know, I'm OG at this
Came
shit,
out of the
you know?
womb.
Yeah, I came out the womb. I'm 34, but 8 years prior to my birth, you know, my dad was in his nutsack. I was giving comedy
You were
shows to
riffing.
all the other sperms and shit. You know how
Yeah.
you say you're supposed to get it's like a race. You win out. These motherfuckers elected me out. I was that fucking man.
You got
They're like, I
elected?
chose this motherfucker. They pushed me to that fucking egg. I was
This
like,
guy's
this
a
is my
joke.
time.
Let him out.
You know, no. Yeah, exactly, pretty much. Get this dumb motherfucker out of here, man. All right. Listen, no, I'm like I said, I'm from Philly. I did it there for a few years. You know, probably for like a year and a half. Took a break off of it for a long time.
Yeah.
For like 12 years, man. Pretty much. My daughter's 14. That whole ride, I just pretty much wasn't doing it. Then I just got back into it here, you know. So
Yeah, that's a long break.
yeah, no, it is a long break. Yeah. You know, it's just you go through different things in life. You know, I think, like I said, I was raising my kid. I was focused on work. You know, and you know, once you're a comedian at heart, you always kind of feel like you're gonna hop back into it at any time.
Sure.
Like that door's always ajar in the back of your mind. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But at the time, I was just focused, dude. I was just fucking. Both times, put it to you like this. Both times I did stand up, I had long hair. That shows like where I'm at. Like before, you know, when I had
Every
that
time you
short
give up, you get back
every
into
time I
it.
give up, I get into stand up. I had a short haircut. You know what I mean? I was fucking working corporate. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I fucking,
it sounds like I had a lot of excuses. I'm not gonna lie.
It does. I haven't had the long hair experience though. That's never been.
He actually has an afro underneath there. He's fucking
Yeah, it's
lying.
like poof.
Yeah. He said he's a baby in comedy, so he was trying to go for the baby cut. He's trying to
baby
get the
look.
whole feel for it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. I've had a few comics come to me afterwards, like I'll do a set or whatever, because I don't wear my hat when I do a set. And then they'll come up to me afterwards and they're like, "Did you go up?" I'm like, you just saw me, but because I had my hat on, they're like, "I didn't realize you don't have any hair." I'm like, yeah, you know, what are you gonna do?
Cool, 'cause
I didn't notice
If you
that.
become famous, then you just have to literally wear a hat.
Yeah, I can hide from
Yeah,
people.
it'd be like
Easy.
fucking Clark
Yeah.
Kent. You just put on the glasses.
So why
everyone's
did you
like,
get
"Who
into
the fuck?"
comedy?
Why?
Yeah.
You know, just comedy's always been there. Like I did improv for a while. In Orlando, I did improv for a few years, and improv I didn't really love that much. Then I came over here, and I didn't do any comedy for a couple years. But comedy's always been like a part of my life. It was just more about my anxiety than anything else.
Right.
That's the only threshold I had to get past, really. And sure, I still have anxiety when I go up, but it's not to the point where it's crippling where it used to be.
Well, you can't go up.
Where I couldn't go up. Like, I never in my life, especially as a kid, thought I would be on stage in front of people talking. Not a shot in hell.
Well, you were more reserved as a kid, quiet.
Oh, I literally had crippling anxiety. It was,
Really?
super bad. It wasn't, diagnosed or anything like that, especially back then.
Yeah.
It was more, you're a shy kid. You know, you got labeled as a shy kid,
fuck
and
is wrong
that
with
was
this
it.
dumbass kid,
Yeah,
you know?
like,
Fucking,
you know, go fuck him, go play this
And
kid,
how
whatever.
old are you again?
I am beep 4.
Okay.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in my 40s. I'm actually in my 40s. So,
Are you? Okay.
yeah, it took me a long time, but that's why I mean, for anybody
that's
just to
it.
get
Yeah,
into
to
it.
get to
It's not an
40,
easy
yeah.
thing to overcome, you know.
Yeah, so
It's not.
But at what age would you say that you sort of can say that you managed it to the point where you can overcome things like that?
Oh man, I guess you could say it sort of started when I started doing improv. So that was maybe about 6-7 years ago.
Right.
But that was still with a group.
So
You're still with
like,
a group
what,
of people.
72 at that age?
I was like 72nd birthday. Me and Biden, we were discussing it, and, working things out. And then for stand up, it was just recently. It was within the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I felt like I was over it, I went on stage. And then once you get the taste, once you try it once, you're fucking hooked.
And that first time you went up, how was that battle with your anxiety? The first time you went on stage.
My anxiety was insane, but the way I did it is I did a class. And I'm kind of glad I did it this way. So I was in front of 150 people. It was in a comedy club. So you were getting reactions. So I was getting laughs. Right? If I would have just went up and, let's say, coconuts in front of 5 people and just bombed, I might have walked away and said, forget it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad I did that class.
Right. That's what
You had a lot of people there. You got the big laughs. But as far as going up, I was backstage. I walked 10,000 steps just pacing, waiting to go up. It was nuts. And it's online, and I've gone back and watched it, and I just cringe. I'm just like, this is so bad.
Oh my god! And you left it online with a soldier.
Well, it's on McCurdy's. It's on McCurdy's website. I can
it's on
ask him
their
to take it
website.
down, but I just
No,
it's
fuck
fine.
it, I got you.
I don't care.
Every time
whatever.
I find myself pacing back and forth that much, it's usually because I did like a line or two of meth. That usually gets me. I can't ever
Oh,
say.
it gets you antsy.
Yeah, it gets me.
So you get 20,000 steps a day,
Yeah,
regardless.
yeah,
is what you're saying.
exactly.
All
Yeah,
right.
my
You just even
Fitbit.
have to walk.
my
That's the crazy part.
Yeah. My Fitbit is like, are you sure you're not fucking running right now? I'm like,
Oh
no,
my
I'm just sitting
god,
here. I'm
those
like, no, I'm just
porn
thinking.
sites are getting so many.
Yeah,
hits.
exactly. No, but that's interesting though, and that's actually a really good point. Because you think about stand up when it comes to something like anxiety. That's pretty much a one-man show. There's no one to fall back on. You take all the glory. You take all the fucking criticism when it comes to that shit. Every bit of bombing is all
All or
on you.
nothing, baby.
No one else. So then with something like improv classes, that's a group of people. So you already are doing it with other people, which is already taking the pressure off of, all eyes on you type stuff, You're also playing around with comedy, which is right in the same lane that you're trying to hop over into. And then it's just like, it's just more of an easier way, I can tell, to kind of like ease your way into wanting to get on stage by yourself,
It is and it isn't. I think there's two sides to it because the anxiety kicks in when, for me, I didn't like it as much because I didn't want to let other people down. I'm on stage now doing stand-up. It's just you. You let down you. So doing improv, I kind of held back a little bit because I didn't want to let anybody else down. That's on stage with you. I didn't want to fail with them. I could fail alone on my own, no problem.
That makes sense. So
I guess we have a similar mentality with that, except usually other people fail, and I don't want them to fail for me. I want to fail for myself. So that's why I never went into improv.
usually
Gotcha.
I'm
And
not
I
the one
have
messing
bombed
up.
by myself.
Bomb right on cue.
That's so
Right on
perfect.
cue. And clap.
Bombed right into the mic.
That's perfect. No, but yeah, that makes perfect sense. I get that, But no, and I can totally see that, how it will kind of restrict your creativity a little bit, because you don't want to take risks that are gonna like fuck up someone else's, their ability to, or whatever. You don't want to, when it's just you're like, okay, I'll bite the bullet for whatever the fuck I say.
Yeah, you could take it in any direction you want. When you're on stage doing improv, it can go. You don't know where it's going to go because somebody else. You're not just driving the bus yourself.
Yeah,
Other
right,
people are driving the bus. So
And sometimes they come out left field, bro. You're over here at the
Yeah.
ice cream shop, making fun of Big Bird.
Yeah.
They come out when a fucking snowplow comes in. You're like, oh, what the? Oh, we're doing this now. All right.
Yeah,
I did a couple of those improv classes. What, you want to give a shout out to the class you went to? What was that? Where was it?
that was in Orlando. That was at SAC Comedy Club in Orlando.
Oh, Sac. He thought it was a swingers club.
Sacks.
Yeah. The Sacs.
This is where Manny was born in the SAC.
Yeah.
Where's Manny at? They're like, he's not here.
He got elevated out.
He's in Orlando.
Yeah, he's in Orlando. That's like where my dad fucked my mom.
When's the worst time that you ever bombed?
Oh, the worst bomb. There's so many to pick from.
Every time I go up.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think it just depends on. For me, I don't really mind bombing per se. It's kind of like I'm kind of used to it. That sounds really bad. Like I'm bombing all the time.
He is a good comedian.
I feel like
we promise he is.
my biggest worry on stage isn't necessarily bombing. Mine is I have bad memory.
Yeah.
So mine is remembering my material. So that's where like my anxiety and my bombing comes in, is like I start forgetting my material and I'm like, oh, I got to go look, or where was I at? And I pause where I don't want to pause. I don't know that I have a one bomb to where it was just completely crazy, because I've been in front of crowds where there's like 2-3 people. You know, I've done manatees and there's literally like one person there, so you get nothing, you get no feedback.
How many manatees were there? That's
Yeah, I was like, that's crazy show. How did you get them to show up?
Yeah, he's just talking about how you fucked manatees, and he was like, yeah, I've done manatees. I was like, whoa, I didn't know. He's like, you've done manatees. I'm like, whoa, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
you know?
You got to pay them good money.
No, but I totally get that. You know, this is the life of an open micer, of a comedian, you know.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, like, I used to play, like, Knockout Kings and stuff like that on PlayStation back in the day, you know. And it would have those story modes where you're, like, a boxer, but you start off amateur. And your first fights are, like, in these shitty rings. There's, like, ropes, you know, on the outside. And you kind of just work your way. And by the end of, like, that career mode, you're all the way, you're like fucking Mayweather and shit, you know.
Yeah.
You know, not that we'll ever get that there, but...
It's a long road. Yeah, this game is a lot longer than that game. Way longer.
Yeah, you can't put it on easy.
No cheat codes either.
Yeah. But that's how it is. And you go to clubs, bro, and it'd be like nobody there sometimes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Which you can't even really count as a bomb. I mean, you can, I guess. But it's just like, I mean, it does count when you make those 3 only people there laugh too, you know?
Yeah.
That does happen.
But it also does count as a bomb when you make none of those 3 people there laugh.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
I'm gonna count that as a bomb. If there's kind of nothing, they're just like, And you're gonna get that, especially if you're always just trying to find rooms to do, because you're definitely not always gonna get clubs. You're gonna do coffee shops. You're gonna do pizzas. I did pizza shops. Strip club. You know what I mean?
Club.
You end up in all sorts of different places. So it just depends where you're at.
Wait, strip club.
Backtracking
let's
here.
Unpack that a little bit.
Beep, beep, beep.
How did that come up? Was that like a normal thing that they hold, or strippers didn't show up that day? What was like the dynamic?
That was the strip club one. Was I'm trying to remember. It was one that just popped up. Somebody threw up there like they got a room, and I went there, and I didn't even stay. I didn't even do it. I stayed, and it just went on and on and on. It was very unorganized, and so I got on stage for 10 minutes and different stage, and then I left. So
yeah, same shoes, both stage.
yeah.
There's nothing like
I recognize you.
There's nothing like hanging out at a strip club and not spending money. I should just felt like
There literally is nothing like that.
Yeah.
That's never happened.
You know, because I feel like, I mean, if you're there as an act, you know, maybe you'll get a drink or something, but you're not there to fucking, you know. Well, maybe you were, but I'm just saying, you know.
It ended up being that way. But,
you had more fun. And shit. Yeah, were you invited on the show, or were you just making telling jokes to strippers when you were drunk one time?
Oh shit! You're giving me ideas though. Let me Google this.
Those are ideas on how to get charges very, very quickly. It seems like something that would be extremely disorganized, bro.
Yeah, it was. That's why I left. I probably stayed for 45 minutes, and I still wasn't getting up. And there wasn't a long list. I still wasn't getting up for probably another hour and a half.
Ooh.
Oh my god!
And so I was just like, all right, I'm leaving. This place is weird. But it was weird. Just watch. You would see strippers randomly walk by, and everybody's just like looking at them, and the comedians on stage, and people don't give a shit. They're not gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
That's why I was so confused. That's like kind of the worst place to have one.
Yeah, I mean, if their show's not going on, okay.
Okay.
But they had strippers like walking by doing their thing. You're like, this is not gonna work at all.
The way you have to do it is you have to have a comedy show and then incorporate the titties into the show. You can't just have competing. You know, you don't go to a strip club to listen to people talk, let alone another man. You know what I mean? Fucking talking. Right. You go there to see titties, your dick's hard. You're like, I gotta, you know, one's fucking listening to a comic. You know
I feel like you just created another podcast. I think that's what is happening.
Let's do it.
Set up at the strip club and just
a whole new category,
a whole new industry.
Yeah.
I have this joke about me dating a stripper, and it would be kind of funny to be acted out because it's like, oh yeah, I went to a strip club, and you know, I knew she was the one when she climbed up the pole and fell, and it was like reenacted.
That's awesome.
I don't think anybody would be mad about that. You should definitely reenact that.
That's funny. So you're from where are you from originally?
Virginia.
Virginia.
Oof.
Wow.
Northern Virginia.
DMV, baby.
DMV.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Actually, brother, I'm an Eagles fan, so fuck the Redskins.
Commanders. He's racist.
I'm sorry. Cut that out. You know,
Sports.
I might be a Redskin, so maybe I'm not racist.
Okay.
Okay.
Get away with it then.
Cool.
Yeah.
You got
So
the
how long?
pass.
So how long have you been in Florida? What like you grew up over there, or did you move around?
Yeah, no, I grew up in Virginia, and then I was in Orlando for 9 years, I think.
Why'd you make that move?
Man, just to get away.
Yeah.
I was just over this, I quit my job. I was just like, I'm out. I had nothing planned. I came down here. I did have one of my buddies down here, so I moved in with him at the time. But it was just kind of get up and go
It's
kind
a
of thing.
radical difference. You just needed a change.
Just needed that change.
And did you only start pursuing these creative interests after you got to Florida, or?
Oh, you mean comedy?
Yeah, comedy.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't doing any. Back there, it was just, ex-girlfriends, jobs, bullshit. Everybody from high school,
regular
the same
bullshit.
basic, stuff.
So, do you think that helped in your in you wanting to actually taking that step to do it? Was the fact that you had a new environment, you're starting fresh, kind of, and you're like, okay, well, new me, new day. Hey, let your hair down. You know what I mean?
It was a new.
Nice.
It was a new me. It was a new Dave, but it was more of I'm just gonna go out and live my life. Like I was traveling, beach
David got his
shows. I was
groove
doing
back.
all that stuff back then. And then it was more when I got over here in Sarasota, which has been about 4 or 5 years now that I started just like going more after the comedy thing.
And then you said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and I think about this a little bit because you have younger people starting out. Like Maddie's younger, but coming in at my age, I feel like I have a little bit of a leg up just because I have more experiences under my belt, right? So you have more things you can kind of relate and talk about and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's one of the cool things about comedy too, because a lot of creative arts, it's a game for young people. It's at least that's the way they make it feel. Nothing is 100%.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is kind of like comedy is like some people don't even fuck that. You can be some of the best comedians are old as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't even get to that level until they are that age.
Yeah, no, that's the best thing about stand-up comedy is there's no age
Yeah, they're truly
limit at all.
Yeah.
Like Rodney Dangerfield didn't start popping until he was
Right,
like
right.
68 or
That's the one
something.
example.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he was in it for a little while, but
stopped
he
and
stopped and went
had a
back to like
regular job.
selling something,
Right.
and then he came back and just had this whole new persona and just crushed it.
No way.
Yeah, so you can reinvent yourself too. You know what I mean?
Like,
Like
think about it, the art of just like being funny. It's like no one. It doesn't even really
Just
have an
be
age
funny. It's not that
restriction
big of a deal. Just be funny.
it's so easy.
I'm not
So
saying
easy.
that it's not difficult. I'm just saying that it's just something that doesn't have age restrictions. It's not like playing basketball,
Yeah, like how many minutes do both you have right now? If you had
Like
a tight
15.
I like
15, 20?
something like that.
Okay.
Max,
Yeah, I would say
On a
about
good day.
15 too. I would
Yeah.
say about 15.
Well, it's 15, but people actually laugh closer to 17.
All right.
In that case, -4 is around where I'm at. I'm into negatives. I'm beyond.
Maddie out here got me doing math, man. I gotta leave. This is too much.
I know. This wasn't our Asian guest. I told you. I gotta stop. I'm sorry. That was unnecessarily racist. I just threw it in there. I heard math and I was like, Asian people. It's pretty fucked up. I gotta say.
Oh man.
He's yellow. It's due to his Giannis. He's a heavy drinker. It has nothing to do with him being Oriental.
Broadly Oriental.
Yeah, broadly Oriental. But you said you were in comedy to some capacity. Like comedy was always in your life. What do you mean by that? Like before you were involved in doing comedy, how was it?
No, not in any way like at an artistic level. Just my family growing up. My dad was always the dad jokes. My brothers, we, every day. Well, our group busting balls. It's just comedy is just the way we talk.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like it's hard for me normally to have typical conversations without doing comedy. Like my ex-girlfriend would get so mad at me. Like, can you ever just be serious?
Hey,
I'm like,
stop talking about
I
my
can't.
kids.
My mind goes to joke first and then serious stuff. So sometimes I have to stop. Okay, don't say that. Say this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to fucking correct yourself before
At least
you
you
ruin your
have
marriage.
that because I have the thing where automatically a joke, and then if it's not a joke, it's not a big deal, and there's absolutely no in between.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, Maddie lives in a world of black and whites. In case you ever,
That's
yeah,
that's
but-
racist. But go ahead.
Black, white, and yellow here. Black and yellow. Black and yellow. So this is the we probably have to clip that out. I think so we can afford anything. So but Maddie also grew up in a house full of funny people, right?
Yeah, I'm the least funniest kid, and I know that because my parents frequently still tell me that.
Well, how many siblings you have?
I have 3 brothers.
Older brothers or younger?
One older, two.
Well, I mean, of course she's not the funniest. She's the only girl.
I am the only. Yeah. If I had a dick, it would be different, I'm sure. And if I did, it would be sad.
David wouldn't be sitting so far from you. That's.
I mean, I got a tight 15. It's all dick jokes, so that just goes to show. You know?
That's good. My family wasn't particularly funny. I mean, my dad was like a jokester a little bit. He was always like funny-ish. More like dad jokes type stuff. My mom was just angry, handing out whoop asses, cans of whooped ass all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She wasn't, but she's not quite a jokester or anything like that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of comedy in that.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing in my head thinking about you getting your ass whooped.
Yeah. No, dude, there was so many. Dude, I used to get my ass beat all the time as a kid. And honestly, the first time when I think back to these moments, it's like it was always those jokes of how I would get my ass whooped. That I would be like in front of like a bunch of people, like, you know, at school or at church or something, making them laugh, talking about how my mom would like whip my ass and shit,
right.
You know. And I was like, I guess that was like the first time I ever really performed jokes. I guess was like telling those stories, you know.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. I mean, you got to take it from your life experiences. That's the best jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you embellish them, sure, but you know, if you start with the baseline of the truth, then it's so much better.
Yeah. So, but my family wasn't particularly funny. My brother, he did comedy as he got older, but as we got older. You know, but I was always certainly like the more like silly one.
Okay,
you would say, you know. So
well, I'm also a middle child, so I, you know, fighting for my place and to be noticed. So you know, you got to be funny, you got to be different. You know, out, yeah. I'm definitely the different one. I'm the only one that moved away. I mean, there's just so many things. My brothers, I have two brothers, one older, one younger. They're still in the same town. You know, they're basic. They both married white women. Nothing wrong with that. But they're very just basic, if you will. I mean, they're funny guys. Don't get me wrong, they're funny guys.
Make sure you
they haven't done anything.
Make sure you tag your family on the video.
Oh, they don't.
Basic ass brothers.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, they know it's coming, so it doesn't matter. I mean, as soon as I get off, I'll just go right back to busting their balls anyway. So
somebody has to do it.
Somebody's got to do it.
Someone has to bust those basic balls up.
But now, like, it's funny because when we were younger, you know, you'd get in fights and stuff like that. Now, it's like it also teaches you to self-deprecate because if you're around people that are busting your balls all the time, you got to get the joke out first. Or you got to get the joke out about yourself first. You hit yourself first, so they can't hit you because it hurts less if you do it to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You put yourself out there, so it's like I already said it. So
I already called myself fat or bald or short.
While you're crying, and the real joke is the fact that you're having to call yourself fat, not to be.
Yeah, exactly. Because I do a lot of self-deprecating jokes on stage, and I don't mind them at all. It's so baked in already that it doesn't affect me at all.
And it's a safe thing. Because here's the thing. Look, honestly, I grew up in North Philly, right? It was really good over there, and just like making fun of people is what we did, bro.
Yeah,
we used to always bust on people all the time. That's what they used to call it, bro. So I always roasted people. You know what I mean? And it's like it always is a thing. Like always, like we would just sit there for hours and roast each other. You know. So then it's like I kind of bring that, like when I host, sometimes I roast, and I know some people don't like it. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I saw you. I think it was one Wednesday, and you were roasting everybody. I fucking loved it. That was my favorite part of the show. You were nailing everybody before they went up, and I was just like, "This is awesome."
I appreciate that, but I know for some people, I feel like it's like okay, they want to be, maybe just wait till after they do their set to then roast them a little bit, because like, some people actually have egos, believe it or not.
Yeah. I was watching some of the reactions, and some were, better than others. But like,
I said he looks like a Wii Sport character.
Exaggerate.
Wow. Super Smash Brothers and shit.
I want you to pretend you're bowling and jump in a circle.
I can't unsee that now.
Yeah, I mean, you can draw whatever you want up here.
I find that the self-deprecating jokes works for men better than women because I've definitely tried some here and there, but I go in the absolute other direction in the sense that I go, I'm just so fucking hot. And it's just like so hard because
that's funny too.
If I do it in the other direction, like it seems like that everybody's like, oh, she does.
That's interesting. I've actually never really thought about that, but that's a good point. Now that I think about it, you're right. Because a guy couldn't go up there and be like, I'm so hot. Yeah, that would bomb immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's
interesting.
I see, it is interesting, but it depends. I
mean, Matt Wright, for example, he got hotter, and he makes a point of he's like, I obviously glue up, and I look really hot now. But that works for him, kind of, but that's not the joke. He just points it out to get past it.
Well, that guy's a 10, so he could do that. If you're like a 5, 6, 7, I don't I don't know
Well,
that.
if you
That's what
blew
it's-
up from a
he's
2
a
to a
10.
5, you still can't make those jokes.
Yeah. Or if you blew up and got
I don't know why
fatter.
you had to use me as an example, Maddie, but
Or if you, in my case, got fatter and blew up from a 5 to a 2, you also won't. Doesn't work that good. But here's the thing, though. But I was gonna bring up that point actually. Like I haven't put too much thought into it, but how much of it do you think is how attractive that person? Because it's hard when you see like a handsome, chiseled man up there, fucking making self-deprecating jokes. You're like, get the fuck out of here, you know.
Yeah.
So it's almost kind of funnier if he leans on the idea that he's, be over cocky about how funny you
Of
are.
everything.
Yeah.
I think it makes it a little funnier than
there's probably a fine line. Like, Maddie said, it depends where you go to go. It just is a fine line because some guys you're right, it will work with. Some it just won't. You have to go.
Or they, I know a lot of comedians do like poor jokes, like who here grew up poor, and I do the opposite. I'm like, I own real estate, and it sounds like
Yeah, I do.
like I'm bragging. It's because I am.
Yeah, I love that bit. You set them up. You're like, who hates landlords, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, you're like, I am a landlord.
But I address the fact that I am doing very well, and you can go ahead and make fun of me because I'm doing well. It sounds like you're poor.
Yeah, that's a great bit.
So how long were you doing it for again? I'm sorry.
It's just almost a year and a half. Almost a year and a half.
I don't listen to half of the stuff people say, so I'm sorry.
I'm right there with you, man. I'm right. What's your name again?
Yeah, Kevin. Nice to meet you.
Kevin.
Madonna. No, but that's no, because I was wondering because you hear people say too, one of the big things about young comics is like oh, I hear I'll hear older, more tenured comic online, and you'll hear references like this often. Well, they'll be like, oh, whenever I hear a young comic say that they have an hour of stand up, I just laugh at them. Blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? There's like this. There's a little bit of gatekeeping, a little bit of that. I feel like it's it's like shut the fuck up.
It's demeaning.
Yeah. Sometimes, but there's some truth to it in the same sense that you're not going to be as good as in playing basketball the first time as you will be like the 10th time that you play.
I mean, Tom Segura, for example.
There's some truth to it, but at the same time, it's like don't make a template for everybody to follow. You know what I mean? Or apply your template onto everybody. I feel like you get that.
Tom Segura, for example, somebody asked him on his podcast, "Oh, what's your favorite, especially release?" And he goes, "Well, I think that as you watch them, they slowly get better. So the last one I released is probably the best one I've had. So it's not that you don't have an hour of material. You change, it through your own evolution, or you don't, which is
cool.
I
did kind of conflate the two too. The idea of like getting better over time, but you do hear that also. Like people like kind of laugh at you when you say, "Oh, I've been doing it for 2 years. You have an hour," and they're like. You don't have an hour.
No, you don't have an hour. Well, people lie all the time. I mean, there's kind of a rule of it. It's like if you say you have 30, you have 15. If you say you have 10, you have 5. Right. Kind of like that.
And that's always what I kind of live by. I mean, I take that to heart. Like, dude, I've never once tried to headline anywhere. I never tried to feature anywhere. I did the hosting because that's like almost a step back from doing your own set almost.
I don't think. I actually think the opposite. I think that's a step up.
Really?
I view it that way, yeah, because you're hosting for everybody around you. You're comfortable enough on stage to be able to perform that job compared to just doing.
Yeah, that's certainly true. That's true. What I guess what I'm saying is, as far as like your material and stuff, it's not like you're really, you do a little bit of your material, but it's not like you're featuring where you got to do like 20 minutes or something like that. Are
you talking about hosting?
Yeah, just hosting. Hosting versus like, let's say headlining.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hosting, but it's great. If you get a regular hosting gig, it's a great thing to have because you can run your material and slip in, try new things and stuff like that.
Why don't you like hosting?
It's just not my thing. I'm not a very high energy comedian. I'm more like punchline kind of guy, just middle of the road.
He's a headliner kind of guy. That's
what a headliner. What do you want from me, man?
Like, I can't hosting shitty
hosting, featuring.
Get out of here.
No, but so I'm hosting for Tanya Lee Davis September 1st up here in St. Pete, and I've hosted for her before, but I don't love it because, like I said, I have my memory's bad too, so I got to introduce people and remember like if they want to say a certain way or will they'll be next and hear the beer specials, like those little things that aren't comedy.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't like dealing with that. I just want to do comedy.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I mean, I hosted again this past Wednesday. When I did that, I haven't been on stage for like since that Orlando invasion. So
really,
yeah, so it's been a while. Yeah, I've been trying to really focus on this stuff a little more. That's why I said I could do the hosting because I'm like, okay, well,
sure.
I'm not even gonna. I didn't even think of any material like a little bit before I got on. Just a tad bit, and I just want to. Another thing too is like I'm trying to get to that point where you're really comfortable on stage. To where it's like it doesn't fucking matter if you forget your shit. You can take comfort in that. It'll come back to you later or whatever the case might be.
Well, I was gonna say that you look like you were having a great time.
I appreciate that, bro.
And that's what mattered. And it was funny. I like I said, you're busting balls. I was dying at all that stuff. You know what I mean? I was like, that. And you had a good time. So that's what matters.
That's interesting because I don't remember laughing at any of your shit when you were up there. No, dude, you're the fucking man, bro. You're the man. No, but
I'm not getting paid enough for this.
Yeah, this poor guy drove from like Georgia to get here and shit.
Oh, you did. You had to drive from Sarasota, to get here.
Yeah, but it's not a big deal. I do it every day. I mean, I drive at least an hour. Well, if you round trip 2 hours every day.
Aww.
Yeah, we don't have. There's not many mics down there. McCurdy's every once in a while. Otherwise,
yeah, that's what Martin was saying.
And I'm shooting up to Wesley Chapel after this. Later tonight to do their mic. So I'll go wherever. Yeah. It doesn't matter to me.
So how do you compare to the St. Pete scene? I mean, compared to like the Orlando scene, which one do you think is a?
As far as stand up?
Yeah, as far as stand up.
I've only done a couple mics in Orlando. Here's what I like about Orlando is they're all closer.
Right.
They're closer together. So you can jump on. So you can jump on a couple mics pretty easily. Where up this way, it's pretty hard to get 2 mics.
Yeah,
it's tough.
One night, you mean?
In one night. 2. Yeah, Orlando, you could probably pop 2 or 3 sometimes, just depending on the night.
They're plentiful there.
Yeah, there's a lot, and they're always popping up. Mics are always popping up. They've got people that have been around, like I don't know if Ken Miller, Carmen.
Oh, yeah, Ken Miller with the dog.
With the dog?
I just made that up. No, Ken Miller. Ken Miller is somebody else, okay? He might have a dog. What, are you so sure that whoever you were referencing doesn't have a dog?
He's a cat wrangler.
Yeah. If it's a Kim I know, he's a complete dog hater, so it can't be this person,
Yeah, but I don't know. Both scenes are pretty good. Both scenes are definitely evolving. I keep seeing stuff pop up from.
Listen, we don't want these wishy-washy centrist answers, bro. Okay, we want to know left or right. If I say you
want me to start a fight?
No,
that's what you want.
Yeah, a fight's about to start right now, man, between my sexual urges and your penis. It's a struggle right now, but it's gonna be.
All right, that might work.
It's gonna evolve into a fight pretty quickly here. Okay.
Ew.
Yeah.
But come on, man. Let's pick a fucking side, bro. All right.
All right.
Pick a side, bro.
If
you're here, fucking,
Oh wait, are we talking about better comedians or better stages?
We're talking about both. Better stages. Better stages
I want to know the
first.
comedians ones, but
Better stages.
All right, so better comedians. I'm gonna say a tie.
That's
no, I'm just fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, that's just good.
No, better comedians is hard. I haven't seen when I went last time to Orlando and I did it. A lot of the comedians were really good, so I'm leaning towards Orlando right now.
Mickey Mouse, motherfucker,
but
over there.
It was a small sample size, and it was on a pretty big mic kind of night. So you could go to another mic, and it would be complete opposite.
Yeah.
All right. So you're making me pick, so I'm going to do that. As far as the scene goes. Oh man, that's tough. I'm gonna go with Orlando also.
Just don't fucking move back to Orlando. Jesus Christ. Just move back to Orlando.
I mean, you wanted the answers, man. I'm giving you answers here.
Yeah, I guess you're right. All right, so this podcast is done. This motherfucker's getting out of here. He's gonna go move back to Orlando with fucking Goofy and Mickey Mouse and all these fucking. Were you counting Disney characters? They're not comics. You can't. Are you counting Disney?
Oh, I didn't know that. You didn't say that.
No, no. Goofy, no, fuck out of here.
Oh, in that case,
of course
yes.
they're gonna outdo us.
If you don't count Disney characters, then it's Orlando.
I was gonna say, what famous celebrity? What do we have, like Hulk Hogan here and fucking Burt Kreischer? Jesus Christ. Okay, you're right. Orlando's the window.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm moving to Orlando.
Yeah, maybe if some of these Tampa bookers will start booking me more, then I'll switch to Tampa.
Yeah, no one wants to move to Tampon. Tampon, Florida. It's funny because they say Florida is the dick of the United States, like the penis.
I didn't hear. No, I heard it was the hair trap of the United States.
Yeah. But I don't know. But
see, why do you gotta go there?
Hair trap?
The hair trap?
Yeah.
What the fuck is a hair trap?
It's like in a shower.
I understand why you would know.
Why do you got to bring up hair, though, is what I'm saying.
I only invited you so you can look at my long locks.
That got me. That was good.
I really don't know what a hair trap is. You have to trap hair?
I know nothing about
like getting away from you. The fucking hair keeps running away.
In a shower, you don't have to worry. Yeah. But, it's in the drain. It's a hair trap.
Yeah, hair trap, brush, shampoo. I don't know any of this shit.
Yeah, I haven't taken a shower in months.
Plumbing to hair products, fantastic.
I haven't taken a shower in like 18 months or so.
I was going to mention that. But.
That's funny. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. So I think personally St. Pete's scene is okay, not to be a contrarian here, but no, I was surprised here. Like not to compare it to anything else. I was a little surprised. I've only lived in larger cities, I lived primarily in Miami, and I did a little bit. I didn't do stand up there, but I got familiar with the scene a little bit, just trying to recruit comics for like a podcast that I was trying to do. Mm-hmm. So that scene was there. Miami's, and I talked about this before. Miami's just like a weird place for comedy. It's a weird place in general, but comedy in there doesn't. It's just interesting.
Too much partying, I would think. Like people don't give a shit about anything
too
else.
much like cell phone use, like all that, like just distraction type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I hear comics, like there's professional comics on their podcasts. They're like just go on rants about it and shit. Joe Rogan talked about it. Just like not a real good, I guess comedy city per se. But then Philly was great. I went up there and you said it was the same comic. So I've only seen those sort of scenes. And then when I moved here and I got back into it, I was really expecting some gut bucket, like maybe like 2-3 fucking, you know what I mean? It just seems such, it's more of a city here, St. Pete, than I initially thought. But a lot of that was just not from actually experiencing St. Pete. It was from only experiencing larger cities and kind of seeing like, okay, this isn't going to be, So I was surprised when I came down here. There was a lot of comics, man. There's at least an open mic or two every night. It seems like virtually, I host a few we host a few for the Stand Up for News and shit like that. So there's at least mics and there's a lot of comics, which there's some kind of scene here, which was,
Yeah, there's definitely a scene, and there's definitely good comics and there's definitely good rooms. Yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad we have them. St. Pete, Tampa, Orlando. I don't know. Even if you go a little bit south, not on the Atlantic side, but on the Gulf side. Yeah. I've Cape Coral. Like I'm doing some stuff down there.
What's your favorite mic?
My favorite mic to do is probably Laugh Out Lounge.
No, I meant like Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson.
Well, Jackson, obviously.
Ooh, you look like one of his victims, actually. Like you could have been one of his victims.
Yeah, I got a settlement. I can't talk about that.
Really?
NDAs.
Yeah, I love Laugh Out Lounge. Have you guys done Laugh Out Lounge?
Yeah, I've done that one. Yeah, near is that what? That's what.
Winter Haven.
Winter Haven. Yeah, that's right.
That's my favorite because it's a solid room. It's literally just a comedy club, and the setup is like a mainstream comedy club. Yeah, and they treat their mics like that.
Yeah, and I can say from, a lot of times it's hard when you do these little open mics and shit. It's hard to really get that crowd where you're getting a genuine feedback on your material. Because oftentimes, like you said, it would be 3 people. You're like, maybe that would have killed if the vibe was different or something. You know what I mean? So it's never really. So every now and then you go in a room and you're like, okay, I gotta leave that on the cutting room floor. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, okay, this could. You know what I mean? So every time I go there, one time I've been there at least, it was it felt like that room. Like there was comics there. A lot of them were actually in there watching and sitting there. You know what I mean? And it was like, I gotta get. It was a good barometer of how I thought that bit was, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what I use it for, because it's so far. It's like a 2-hour drive for me, so I do it. Well, I was doing it about once a month, not as much anymore, but I was using that as to when I run a 5 that I felt good about, take it there and see how it plays, right. And then really know, because like you said, these other mics, sometimes it's hard to tell. Like Joey Diaz, he said, open mics aren't for laughs. They're to go on stage and figure out like if your stage presence, your delivery, all that kind of stuff. Like you shouldn't really go to open mics.
It's a gym, essentially.
Unless it's like a club. You know what I mean? If you get like a club atmosphere, then that's where you run your actual jokes. So like if you're not getting because like there's a few people, including myself, I'll bail on a joke way too early because I'll go to an open mic that's 3-4 people, not the environment's not there, and it just doesn't work. And I'll try it 3 or 4 times at that same place, it doesn't work, and then I'll be like, let me go back to this, and I'll go back and I'll try it at a place like Laugh Out Lounge, and it murders.
Yeah, it goes well. Exactly.
So
it also it sucks because the 3-4 people in the crowd, I don't mind as long as they're not comics.
Yeah,
that makes a huge difference because like I haven't wrote anything new in a pretty long time now, and I'm like, you're not gonna laugh. This is for me to memorize. This isn't for you.
Right. Yeah.
So I've avoided more of the open mics that I know other people aren't gonna be there, and it's just stand up like other comics because it's not worth it to me right now to even do that. I need to get actual feedback.
Yeah, that's good. Memorizing, to practice that in itself, that's still good. But to your point with comics, I hate when it's like majority comics. I hate that because especially if I'm doing stuff I'm just trying to tighten, like they've heard 1,000 times. I feel so awkward. Like that's more awkward to me than a room full of just strangers, actual people watching where I'm doing new stuff. I'd rather do that.
I totally agree with that, man. It almost makes you, it makes you more anxious in a way.
Yeah.
When you're doing it only to comics that have already heard you.
Yeah, your peers are judging. You're like, oh, shit.
No, they're not judging. They're not listening.
Well, that too. Well, it's one of the other. I mean, pick your poison.
Or you once you start, and they know you're doing your old stuff, and you just see a bunch of people walk up and get out. I've seen that. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, the wave just leaving. You're like, all right.
That's like 80% of your audience. So.
Like, but I got a new one coming up. Hold up.
No, I swear. No, there's a twist on that one joke.
Yeah. This is a new tag.
Yeah, which is an interesting concept, an interesting way of looking at it. It's open mics at the gym, pretty much, right? That's like, this is where you get your workout at.
Yeah.
And then you have your shows, your game night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Like, you have gym, then you have preseason games, then you have games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like how I just like took something you said and made it better.
I know.
Yeah, I do that shit all the time. It's so great.
Jesus.
Yeah, I can do it with the hat too. You want to see? So I'm sorry. I'm just like assaulting you. I'm just assaulting you. I'm sorry.
Emotionally and physically.
We'd like to add this to evidence 101.
Yeah, I'm just trying to slowly get you naked, man. So I figured I'd start.
Settle down.
I figured
my
I'd
man.
start with the hat, then I punch you in the face.
Yeah, that's normally how it goes.
That's your sex life. That's something.
That's pretty much it.
All right, so we had some things we kind of want to look at. So it's funny as fuck. So we brought up like these topics to try to look at. Like I'm like, just come on current events. Maddie's over here like, oh, this dude's like 40. I don't know if he's gonna know any of this.
I did say that. I did.
I was like, I don't know if he's gonna know.
But to be fair, they're younger than you, and they still didn't know it.
Yeah.
So it would.
Yeah.
So
Not
do you
by
know who? What's his name? Melly Mel is?
Melly Mel, no.
Yeah.
That's old school though. Believe it or
No,
not.
I don't know
I
who
didn't
that
know
is.
that neither.
I feel like this is the roast of David Westgate, though. Podcast. Is that what this is?
Yeah, we came here just to roast you and then possibly rob you on your way to your car.
On the way out.
And rape me, apparently.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not rape when you want it.
I know.
Consensual.
We were just gonna rob you. You kept going on.
Well, no, you opened up that door.
Like, please fuck me. You're like, Jesus Christ.
He seems
Would
kind
you
of
shut up if we fuck you?
I'm positive that door's locked. There's no way it's unlocked.
Yeah. These windows are gated. There's no getting out.
So this old rapper, I'm surprised you don't know him. He made a diss track towards Eminem. And so you know how people say, oh, Eminem is top 5 best rappers of all time, right?
Yes.
But they won't let him be number 1 because he's white.
Well, first of all, who is Eminem? No, I don't know who that person is. I know Eminem, obviously. No, I don't know who this is. But everybody makes diss tracks about Eminem to get noticed, right?
To get noticed, yeah. Well, they said that. They're like, well, Eminem isn't relevant anymore. They don't play his music in clubs. And then Eminem goes, yeah, I don't play in clubs. I don't have to.
Yeah, and it's like, look, first off, when she said that to me, I thought it was like a young. It sounds like a mumble, like a like a Gen Z rapper, Melly Mel.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the hell is Lil Melly Mel? Then when I looked him up, dude, it's some old ass. This guy was born in 1962, bro. I'm not even joking. Dude, the motherfucker was on like Flunk Master.
Did you go to class with him, or?
Yeah. Yeah, no. I know. Well, you were just graduating high school, is that right?
I think I was teaching you motherfuckers.
Yeah. He was my Catholic teacher. He taught me how to do a lot of things.
I taught him about zippers.
Yeah. That's why I noticed it right away. I was like, Padre, how dare you? All these years later, your zipper's snapped.
I said, call me daddy.
Yeah, daddy sounds so nasty, right? Don't fucking call me daddy. I hate it.
Yeah, you call him father.
Even sometimes, like my daughter calls me daddy. I'm like, don't fucking say that. I'm like, call me fucking. Yeah,
that's why I can't have kids, because I like the daddy thing in the bedroom. I can't have kids now because I can't be having kid. I can't have my kid running up, daddy.
Like, no. You sound like your mother. Stop it. That's funny. No, but fucking. What the hell was I just talking about? Shit.
You were talking
about
something rape and priests.
That sounds about right.
And penises.
That sounds
and
about
Zat,
right.
yes.
And Eminem. We were talking about Eminem.
Oh yeah, the whole Eminem thing. That's what it is. You see how fucking we have we do way too many drugs, or have done at least too many drugs. I have at least. You look like you don't dabble too much.
We know you have, Annie. I don't anymore. When I was younger, I did pretty much everything. But now I just do kratom. That's pretty much it.
Oh yeah, kratom.
That's pretty much it.
Oh, are you a kratom guy?
I've done kratom for about 5-6 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I use it for anxiety instead of pills. Because I've tried pills before too, and too many side effects that I don't like.
Yeah.
Kratom just gets me even enough to where I'm good.
Yeah, side effects. His dick would get hard a lot of times.
It'll get hard, but it's just like it won't do anything else.
Well, just sit there and don't fucking look at me.
We just have a staring contest.
Trying to play chess. He didn't want to do anything. King me.
Yeah.
Fucking,
I don't know how I'm gonna jump you, but. So what else? What was the Eminem thing? Were we done?
Oh yeah, let's talk about the Eminem shit.
Thanks for bringing it back around. Yeah, he just dropped a diss track, and so then I guess my point of the conversation is: do you think that rap matters based on race, or to be in the best rapper of all times? Because that's what a lot of people are saying nowadays.
Careful.
Yeah, I don't know. Asking the white guy is the way to go, but
that's what I'm asking.
I don't in anything. It's just whoever's the best, as far as I'm concerned.
Racist. That's racist as fuck.
Rapping,
Racist
comedy, president, whatever.
Oh, so it just
I think Obama was like the best president ever. So
it just happens to be that the white people happen to be the best. It just happens to be that way. Obama's the best because he's half white. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that the part?
No, Obama because that dude's a smooth dude, man.
He was a smooth motherfucker. He really was a smooth motherfucker.
That's why I liked him too compared to Trump, because he's so political, and his laugh was political.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a joke about them guys and how you know if they get sex or not. And Obama's got so much ass that he would have flashbacks, and he would be up there. He would be up there doing a press conference, and he'd be like, and we need to fix the.
He was having PTAS.
That dude got mad ass.
PTAS, post-traumatic ass syndrome. Thinking back all the ass and shit. That's funny. But he Obama was a man and shit. But back to the Eminem thing. It obviously shouldn't make. I mean, if you just want to be real about it, I mean, there's no other. There's nothing but an emotional argument there on why.
Yeah, it's all
something
subjective.
Like that should prevent why you're raised. First off, all right, racism used to be where skin doesn't matter. Like racism, like skin color doesn't matter. Like that. Like for something like that at least. Like okay, we shouldn't look at their pigment. Character, their skin, all that. Now it's to the point. Now it's something different. I don't know what racism is anymore. I really don't. Not everyone gets called racist.
Everything's racist.
Everything's racist now, it feels like,
Yeah.
So, but something like that, I don't see, that's racist to say that someone can't be something because of their skin color. Right. And if you're saying that Eminem can't be the best rapper because of the skin color, that's just racist. You know what I mean? And it's also not true. That's like saying...
discrimination.
Yeah. Basically. How did any truer... and I guess they're making the argument of like the culture thing, but to what... When does culture and race meet? Because Eminem also grew up... And like in that area, he grew up poor as fuck. Everyone knows his fucking upbringing. He grew up with, even the boys that he brought up on D12, everybody was black and from the hood and shit. You know what I mean? Like he's somewhat from that culture also. So it's just like they're trying to make an argument, I guess, from culture and like the white man taking.
But who's making the argument? Like who's
fucking old ass Melly Mel? Who the fuck?
That guy.
Yeah,
but
nobody knows.
Black rappers will make that argument, or even black podcasters.
Can I pull up a picture of Melly Mel? Let me pull up. If you want to pull it up on.
But I mean, art is so subjective.
I put it up already. He's fucking jacked.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. If you're good, you're good. If
you're good, you're good. Who cares? Eminem probably doesn't give a shit.
Oh no, he's like, I think I've made enough.
Yeah. Like,
or he said, well, my songs play in Japan and over in Europe, so I'm almost global. Not almost, I am global.
Yeah, he's definitely global. Yeah. Everybody knows an Eminem song. Nobody knows Melly Mel song.
I've literally never heard of him.
I've never heard of him either.
Today.
I thought it was like one of the Spice Girls. Isn't that one of Melly Mel?
This dude is literally my mom's age. I'm not even lying. He's literally my mom's age. Look at him.
How old is he?
He's jacked as hell though.
He look like LL Cool J.
Yeah, he'll fuck Eminem up.
Yeah, he a big dude. All right, never mind. I'm on his side.
Yeah, he looks like he just
sounds like
he's cut, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I know. I was surprised. I thought it was a. He looked like a.
Close your porn
wrestler.
tabs, by the way.
That's I'm sorry.
Oh, was it really?
No.
So many.
Yeah, I go in incognito mode. We talked about this. Did we ever talk about it here? Do you incognito mode when you watch porn?
Yes.
Cell phone? All right, my guy. Yeah, you totally look like an incognito guy.
Yeah, you gotta go.
I mean? You look like you have a clean.
It doesn't really matter much, but it makes you feel better about it all.
It does. You look like you have a clean dashboard in your car. All that shit. Center department's not a bunch of shit in there.
Yeah, he's being racist again.
Yeah. You can't be the best fucking podcaster.
We tried to slow him down, but he revs right back up.
Hitting 60. I got distracted.
He's got one speed.
Yeah, I need a partner. I'm hitting. You know what I mean? That's funny. So yeah, so Melly Mel, I guess he was a rapper from like a fucking old. It's like, dude, he's so irrelevant. Oh, I don't want to come at the guy too hard. I certainly know he's not relevant enough. And I'm a hip hop fan. I like to think of myself as I grew up listening to hip hop. I know, but I've never heard of Melly Mel. I mean, I've heard the name before, but I thought he was like a SoundCloud rapper or something like that. And why come at Eminem now? You know what else pisses me off is like Eminem is not. He's a shadow of who he used to be, like talent wise. And I'm not hating on him. He's still selling records and shit. But if you ask me any day, his best records did not come out
Was when he was on drugs.
Yeah, was when he was on drugs. You know, let's not act like there isn't a correlation between creativity and drug use. You know, there's something there, and I don't want to glorify it too much, but there is something there, man.
I mean, we can boil it down a little bit more. Like Joe Rogan, for example, when he writes for comedy, he gets high.
Yeah.
So everything else Eminem did was not weed.
It's not.
So we won't say that part.
And it's not just creativity. My dad used to get drunk every time he hit my mom. There was always some kind of like drug.
Well, that's creative.
Yeah. Sometimes you would get creative. There was an ironing board one time. You know?
I mean, I think drugs do, but I also think these guys, their lifestyle change. Your life, you get all this money, your life becomes different. Like you look at like Carlin, and the more he went on, he wasn't as good. He just wasn't. He's got a couple albums that are just garbage. Yeah. He's got some of the couple of the most amazing ones, but he's got some that aren't great.
Yeah.
And the Tom Segura point you brought back, I didn't think his last one was his best one.
No, but I thought it was his most well done.
Well done. Okay. Yeah, I think it was Ball Hog. That was my favorite.
I like the second one that he did.
I can't remember. He's done a bunch, but but because I think these guys, they've been around and they've been in and they've made money. So what can you talk about now? You can't talk about like going to the grocery store. I mean, you know what I mean? You're not doing that stuff. Mm-hmm. So you lose all that.
That's true too. I mean, there is, and that's true for a lot. You lose that hunger, you know, like starving dogs or get the food or whatever you say, you know, something like that, you know.
The relatability, all that.
Yeah, there is a lot of that, and especially when it comes to music, which is essentially food to the soul. You know, it's like something that people relate to on an intimate level. You know, they you know, and when you can really relate to someone in the struggle, or even like, you know, you hear rappers talk about, you know, how motivating that is. You hear a fucking song about somebody who just fucking was in your sitting on a shitty futon like you at 38, fucking looking at, you know, pictures of his divorced wife crying, you know, over your fucking microwaved chicken pot pie. You know,
you talking about
that's a sad.
I was like, is he rapping? I don't. Can we drop a beat?
No, but you know what I mean. But there's it's so motivating when you hear, you know, of other people following their creative interests. And then, you know, they make a song about how they fucking made it. That's just they're making that for you and shit, you know. But then, you get out of touch.
Yeah.
I mean, or it's easy to get out of touch. But Eminem was good well within his, while he was in his prime, he was the biggest artist of all time.
Yeah.
And his prime was a lot longer than I would say most rappers.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was around for a while.
Yeah, even though he only has like a few albums, but they're all bangers, you know. And then, but then his older stuff, like I don't like any of his older, like it's just not the same Eminem. Like, and that's okay because people hit their primes, you know, and then people pass their primes, you know. Not everyone's on their prime all the time, you know. But I know there's a lot more motherfuckers coming out the woodwork now when he's past his prime and sober. But I was like, bro, you wasn't coming at top notch Eminem. Your tone would have been way different back in the day.
It's an easy target for them.
MGK tried it and had to switch his whole style up.
Yeah. That's true. He's doing like classical music now.
He switched his whole style up, but then he dated Megan Fox, so I almost think that's a win.
Yeah. Well, this stage
they got a
Megan
weird
Fox
relationship.
They did. Did you guys hear about the ring that they had?
No.
Is that the thing with like their blood in it or something?
Their blood in it, but it was a ring that you couldn't take off, and if it took it off, it would like deglove your finger. And so she had to get it when they broke up. She got to get it.
They broke up?
Yeah, they broke up a while ago. And then
wait, what?
They broke up for a long time ago.
Already?
Yeah.
Damn.
See, this is what's crazy about our society. She just told you that someone's finger was going to get ripped off, and you guys were like, they broke up?
Yeah.
So easily distracted by this shit.
It was a good point.
So easy.
They broke up, and the funniest part about them breaking up, right? Oh, iconic, is that when it was his birthday, she sent him a video of her sleeping with somebody else.
Whoa. That's fucked up.
Love it. I'm taking notes.
That's like a free Megan Fox porno. I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. That's a parting gift. You know, I'm cool with that.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, free Megan Fox porno. Yeah, if you get a free porn after you break up with every girl, that wouldn't be too bad. You know,
apparently,
I got several.
Because apparently that was the rumor. They said they're still together.
They're not together though.
Their rings say au contraire.
They took all of their photos off.
Count their fingers. How many fingers they have?
Exactly. Who's missing
we'll
a
put
thumb?
an end to this. Yeah. Who doesn't have a finger? Yeah, that's too much. The fuck? A fucking ring? I'm not putting any.
But it was a wannabe Angelina Jolie kind of.
Yeah.
moment.
Oh, I was gonna bring that up. So, see, Maddie be having them old school references, boy. Even though she's from.
She had one.
Yeah. Remember? She had that vial.
With the what's
Billy
his
Bob
name? Bill, yeah, thank you.
I forgot that they were married.
Put the blood in the necklace, and they wore the necklace.
Okay, I do remember that.
She was also into weird shit like knife play and all the other stuff. You know how she tried to hire a hitman when she was 16 to kill her?
What?
Angelina Jolie.
No,
Yeah.
I never heard that. She tried to hire a hitman. So it's like one of her movies, or it's actually happening?
No, this is before she was infamous. She tried to hire him, and the hitman goes, "I'm gonna give you 30 days or 60 days, something like that, and come back to me and let me know if you actually want me to do this." And so she came back. She's like, "Yeah, no, it's fine."
See, for example, you fail before you come big.
Exactly, right. That guy was
The hitman told you no?
Yeah,
How bad is that?
That's going to be her next movie, The Hitman Told You No.
She needs to do a podcast just about that. Every day.
Yeah, dad was like John Voight. I don't know if you guys
remember John Voight.
Remember that motherfucker?
Yeah. I got John Voight's car.
Or are they still together?
According to this, it says 2 years ago, or 2 years into their relationship, or a romance, Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly are still the edgy emo couple we can't get enough of, even amid recent rumors of their split. And this is from August 8th, so I don't know if there's something more recent you saw.
Yeah, no, that's weird as shit. I mean, they're just weird. That whole fucking shit. It looks like he bought her in a box.
They are still together. Okay, just ignore
money,
everything
man.
I said then.
Money does strange things.
What did I read?
Yeah, but
Okay.
they're all
pitching
like
the rumors over here.
I'm just kidding. I was wrong.
Maddie's just making shit up.
Making shit up.
I
know.
love stirring the pot. It's one of my favorite things.
She's like, you know, Donald Trump is black.
Well, the other thing that we were talking about earlier was the Lil Tay thing. Do you remember Lil Tay?
No, I don't know what that. I didn't look into that one.
Oh yeah,
Tell me about
another example of like account rumors and hacks and stuff like that.
Who the fuck is
she? Is a Instagram influencer who I guess apparently had her account hacked.
So she was. Let's skip.
And they said that her and her brother died over some weekend.
She got popular when she was 9 because she was flexing, and then her mom got fired because she was flexing in a real estate or flexing in an apartment that her mom was a real estate agent for.
Oh shit!
Like, this is my apartment, guys. If you want to, keep grinding and all this stuff, and has like a stack of money.
Where'd she get the money though from?
I do not know.
God damn!
I go viral once, and that's all it takes, man. That's crazy.
So you're saying, Nick? Yeah, they spread the rumor that she died and her brother died, right?
Right.
But didn't her parents start the rumor?
Well, apparently her account was hacked, and that was just stuff that was made up, and people couldn't reach them for more comments or anything.
Interesting.
Okay, if your account's hacked, what about the not answering back?
I don't know. It's really weird.
So it's suspect, right?
Yeah, because it's
stuff is still coming out every day about it.
First off, look, I'm gonna tell you how many things sound suspect. The way she got popular on TikTok, she's over here flexing. You can tell me, first off, your mom isn't at a minimum isn't keeping an eye on your ass. You fucking running around here, you know what I mean? You fucking running around here fucking up her job, you know what I mean? So her mom was probably in on it. And then if you're showing off the house and shit, that's one thing. You can maybe sneak off when I'm cleaning or I'm working and shit. She's fucking has a stack of cash. Where the fuck you getting that from? Ain't no kid buying a fake stack of cash. Somebody has to give that to you, or who knows?
It was the older brother.
Oh yeah, so the older brother was in on it, and fucking hooking him up.
That's wild.
So then, but they seem like a clout chasing ass family.
Well,
so
the older brother was the clout chasing part because he would be training her of what to say.
Oh wow, he groomed her into a fucking
the new age Kardashians.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so then when you hear something like they're fake their death, I don't believe anything that comes out of that camp over there is not a publicity stunt. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with this, but that whole thing sounds like they wanted what's happening right now. People talking about it. You know what I mean?
It's pretty stupid.
All right, and cut to me, guys. We're so sorry. Manny passed away this morning.
We should just cut it, and I'm not here. Then it comes back, and I just have my clothes and shit hanging around. Once again, I'm trying to get naked, so that's another.
We're trying to get.
Always leads back to that.
Yeah, all roads leads to my asshole.
Manny's lonely.
To my butthole. It's dark in there. You need a torch. It's like fucking the the Fellowship of the Ring. You gotta go in that bitch. You know what I mean?
This is way too much details. Way too much.
Chopping down wood.
It sounds like you're just sitting there with a mirror, just staring at it.
Has anybody seen?
It's got Matchbox.
Have we all? Let me ask you intimate question to everybody in here. Legitimate, okay? Be honest.
Okay.
Have we all looked at our assholes?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
I expected it from the girl. Nick, you are a soldier. Nick was the first man to step up. I have. David.
I have not.
You've not taken a gander?
I have no interest in knowing what danger is going on down there.
Well, I've seen it, and there's not much going on, right? How much danger is going on?
I just have no interest.
He saw the caution signs and he left. He's like, turn around. This is a second.
Why do I need to look when I can just ask you? That's the whole point.
Yeah. It's hard to get a clear shot when I'm all up in it, man. You know? Let me stop, bro. That's horrible. That's horrible.
It's on your phone.
Is, like, you know, for women, they're like, oh, the best shade of like nude lipstick for you is the color of your asshole.
What? What?
Really? I didn't know that's a thing.
Wow. What the fuck?
Your color match.
How do they find? Oh, so is that what? So woman all, so woman all
staring at Maddie now.
Are there women all over the country
I'm
trying to get the
bright
precise
red lipstick, and you're like,
I think you might be sick, Maddie. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
You gotta get checked, you know.
I just got 3 different lipstick colors on. What's that mean? I don't know.
You got some bruising or what's happening? Is that a real thing though?
Why's your lip bleeding?
well, they'll do that or the color of your areolas. You can color match that too. I feel like that one's a little bit more convenient.
Bro, I need to become,
I didn't know that was a thing.
I'm about to be one of those makeup experts. I'm like, listen, I have to match your fucking lipstick with the color of your asshole. So if you don't mind, this has been over. I'm gonna take
that's like the best pickup line ever.
Yeah. Hey, could you mind if I match the color of your lipstick with your
I really
asshole?
like your lipstick. Let me see your butthole.
Pucker up, you know?
Yeah, that's not the right shade.
Yo,
That's not the right shade.
Yeah.
You're a liar.
I got something here that says I put 5 dark liquid lipsticks to the ultimate test, which was the butthole test.
What? Really?
Yeah, and they got like these 5 shades here. Oh my god!
Are you on Manny's Instagram?
50 Shades of Buttholes. I know.
That's pretty much like.
No, but he's ruining my whole. Because of this podcast, I'm on like 18 FBI watch lists now. Everything he's into fucking makeup and buttholes now.
Yeah, like
you know?
we're gonna be able to use 2 minutes of this. And
Yeah,
The other
exactly.
podcast, there's a lot of snake fucking too, or fucking animals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's wild. Don't go on there.
This is definitely on a watch list.
Let's make it. Let's this is gonna be a staple question on every episode. What animal is the easiest for you to fuck? Would you be most impressed if you had if someone was like, dude, you have to fuck an animal? And I'm not talking about like consensual neither. Like if you heard someone raped an animal, you'd be like, oh gee, you raped a fuck. Wow. Like,
I mean, I think it's gotta be like a polar bear or grizzly bear. It's gotta be
I
a bear.
want a bear too. I know. I want
be
a
a bear,
bear
right?
too. Yeah. But you've been with your fair shares of bears, non-hypothetically, right? So,
Yes.
you know,
In the slang term, lots of bears.
I
lots
get
of
that.
bears.
Listen, if you hear somebody say, "Yo, I raped a bear," what the fuck, you know? Or a gorilla.
Yeah.
Maddie went with a fucking snake, which we found out. We spent
A
an
snake?
hour, dude. We spent an hour trying
Just
to find a
because
snake's vagina.
it would be so complicated.
Would it? Why would it be complicated?
Because I feel like it would just be hard to fuck a snake.
David sounds like he's fucked a few snakes. He's like, really? I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out how to fuck a snake. I'm like,
He's like,
explain exactly what you would do.
Then I'll let you know how far my.
Because you've never seen a snake vagina and or a snake penis.
That's valid.
But I've never looked.
But I've seen a snake in their mouth. I mean,
Your face fucking.
yeah,
a snake?
face fucking. You guys didn't say.
Are you gonna defang it
That's
first?
what I was
You
gonna say.
know?
You're gonna
Like, that thing.
defang it,
That's
it's
gonna
just
be
gonna be a toothy one.
a dangerous
One
route
thing.
to go.
Just to
Yeah,
keep
just
me
one
honest.
thing, you have to keep him honest.
You have to prove that you
He's
did
gonna have
it.
that Circle K snake, just one tooth and shit. You know.
And then later, I'm like, I need serum right here.
No, that's ballsy. Okay, going for the mouth. You really switched
It's
that up.
literally ballsy.
Yeah. It's gonna look like a snake eating his own tail. You know.
Fucking hanging there the rest of your life. Like,
Yeah, but is that a snake in your pants, or are you just happy to? fucking
yeah,
see
that's
it?
where that came from.
Yeah, no,
You
that's
fucking-
hardcore. If you face fuck any animal, whoa, that's a whole different ball.
There you go. That's there's a question. Which animal would you not face fuck?
Well, would you face fuck? Okay, what? Okay, let's think about this. It has to be a teethless animal. Are there any toothless? Are we going vegetarian all day? Am I right? Are we starting off with omnivores? Yeah, we starting off with omnivores. Is that what they're called? Omnivores?
Yeah.
You know?
Start.
Herbivores, right? Well,
Whatever.
omnivores do both.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
they're
right.
bi.
Yeah, they're bi.
Omnivores are bi. That's what he should. It's another word for bi animals. I would. Oh, that's an interesting one. You know, animals have them teeth, bro. You know, they got them teeth.
Yeah.
Almost every animal has teeth to fucking defend itself. You know what I mean?
Well, which one if you could fuck, would you enjoy the most?
Maybe like a dolphin.
Face
actually.
fuck.
Maybe
I was
like a
thinking
dolphin.
dolphin,
Yeah,
too.
maybe a dolphin. It'll be wet at a minimum. You know,
Yeah.
at least it'll be wet.
Wait, but what hole would you choose?
I thought we were going with the mouth.
The
Oh, we got-
dorsal.
Okay,
Oh,
but you got options now.
Oh, okay. I like that.
You got a blow. It's called a blowhole. So.
That seems more structurally feasible too. I have to
Manny's
get that.
stuck on another dolphin.
Yeah.
Call the Coast
Dude,
Guard.
you hear those stories about dolphins raping people? You remember that a few years ago?
Yeah.
That was recent, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty
They're
recent.
always raping.
Yeah, they're
But how do
rapers.
you
See,
get
that's the
raped by a dog? Like
They just like to fuck.
Do you
for
not
fun.
think there's a
Really
little
do.
bit of let's see where this goes by the victims? A little bit of like, oh, this is.
It almost sounds like you're victim blaming.
yeah. Who's the real victim here? I mean, I've seen some of the people these dolphins fuck.
Well, the good news is, folks, we moved on from racism, and now we're on to rape. So.
But it's dolphins that are
You guys
doing
are
the
really
raping,
large
so it's not that
resume.
bad, you know. No, but seriously though, because I always picture like a dolphin, just like a guy pinned up against the wall with a dolphin just back there, like.
Wait, you always picture it?
Yeah.
Like every night? Like
That's what I was thinking of.
you're driving down the highway? Oh,
Yeah,
dolphins.
man, it's the truth of thoughts, you know.
Am I right?
I gotta figure out how to get fucked by a dolphin. You know, I'm not allowed 500 feet from SeaWorld anymore, unfortunately. But you know,
Checked you out.
yeah. But I always picture like prison rape scene. You know, like you're just hanging in there.
I like that you keep saying always. That's fucking amazing.
I always picture that. You know,
Always.
that's funny, and that also has to be embarrassing. You know, would you rather admit that you were raped by a person or by a fucking
Ooh,
or
that's
by a
good.
dolphin?
That's a good question.
That's
I mean,
I would say I wouldn't want to say I was raped by a person. I would definitely say if I was raped by a dolphin.
Would
yeah,
you?
I'm with that.
Yeah.
A dolphin, but if it was like a dog, I don't know.
I don't think I'd bring that one
Yeah,
up.
that's
Yeah,
tough.
That was just for me.
And then you found out it was like a chihuahua.
Yeah.
And you're like, Jesus Christ, are you sure
He
this
was
was
just really aggressive and very dominant.
Yeah. I wonder what's the worst animal. I wonder what the worst animal rape attack is. You know, 'cause I've
Well,
seen-
the one there was one guy. I don't know how many years ago it was. Remember, he was fucking the horse and he died.
oh, we
That's
talked about
right.
that too. Yeah, it came with that.
No,
Yeah,
wasn't the horse fucking him?
the horse was fucking. Yeah, and he died. Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
no, no,
the
the
horse
fucking
yeah, he fucked him to death.
Yeah,
literally.
yeah, literally fucked him to death, bro.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That long ass dick went all the way up in him, bro. He probably felt like he had heartburn and shit. You know?
I don't think it was heartburn. He was probably like, I think I have a horse cock in me.
yeah, coming out my mouth like.
Wow.
Oh god.
That always baffles me. You know.
I'm curious. What did you just put into the search?
Yeah, I know.
we're reading the strange, sad story of the man named Mr. Hands who died
Mr.
from having
Hands.
sex with a horse.
That was his name, Mr. Hands.
Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Hands.
Mr. Hands.
Wow, he had a stage name and
Yeah,
everything.
he's pretty hands on, and some might say.
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
That's funny. Would you? Because I always, you know, when I first heard about that shit, I was so shocked that he was getting. I remember being shocked that he was getting fucked by the horse. Because I think naturally, when I first thought of bestiality, I'm like, these guys are fucking horses. And then I was like thrown aback when I found out that he was getting fucked. I'm like,
That's not
what?
how I've been doing it.
Yeah, you know, I remember thinking like.
And now
what
you
the
think
fuck?
about it all the time.
Yeah, now I can't stop thinking about it. You know. Fucking,
Yeah, that's wild. I don't know how that even happens, but
It was kind of a
Free
fun
time?
fact, guys. Is when what is it? Lions and lionesses? Is that the tigers?
Yeah, no, lionesses are female lion.
Yeah, okay.
That would be
Not
correct.
tigers.
Lionesses. So when the lionesses want to like get it on, like during mating season, they'll nip at the balls of the lions.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I think that's one of the
That's-
funniest fun facts I've
Yeah.
ever heard.
I think we need to translate it to humans.
Yeah, I was
that'd be
gonna say,
amazing.
that would
Yeah.
be really funny.
That'd
You're
be-
just like,
Yeah, just come up and grab us by the balls so we know.
Yeah.
Because we never know.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're always just like, is she looking at me? Is she interested? You just come up and nip our balls.
Can you
Problem
imagine
solved.
that? That would be fantastic.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. But I'd be like, stop it, Manny. God.
I know that's a wig. You're not a lioness. You know? Take off that.
Let me hear your roar first.
Not moan. Let me hear the roar. You know. That's fucking great. So I don't know, man. What else do we have? We had to do the. First off, I saw that Doja Cat shit. Are you into any of
right.
like the newer? Fucking,
did you see the new song?
No.
I was right about almost all of these.
So, I'll be honest with you. Since I've gotten comedy, all I do is listen to podcasts, watch YouTube. Like I'm so up my ass on this stuff. It's just comedy, everything. Like I don't know any music right now in the last 3 years. TV shows, I'm in the middle on those. But yeah, music, I'm kind of out of the loop.
Yeah.
Well, she dropped this banger of a song called "Paint the Town Red," and it's so good. She dresses up like a devil, right? And a lot of people say that it's alluding to her being a part of the Illuminati.
Do you have any thought about like Illuminati in the music industry and all that shit? Are you more towards there's some type of shit going on? There's absolutely nothing going on, or it's all devil worshiping type shit?
No, I mean, it's individuals. I don't think I don't know. I mean, this has been going on forever, right? Every generation, there's some conspiracy going on, and people are doing some crazy shit. But
he blames black people again. Jesus Christ, I don't know why.
Oh my God,
yeah,
why you have
David.
that?
that's the point I was trying to make.
You know,
Thank you,
I
Manny.
know,
I wasn't articulating that right. So.
Jesus Christ, Dave, you're gonna have to ease off of that a little bit. You know, I'm serious.
Would you join if you had the ability to?
The Illuminati?
Yeah.
I'll join anything. Like,
Okay,
I mean, isn't this a casting couch? Like, what are we doing here, guys?
Force him it is. We actually just went to leather couches, so you don't have to worry about spilling anything. You know, the juices can fly, baby. Get all over it. You know, this will be your canvas. You know.
Yeah, who was sitting here before me? That's what I want to know.
My face. No, I'm joking. That was weird. You know. No, so
All been weird.
But you heard about the Illuminati, right? It's like
Yeah.
evidently people have give these soul packs. One thing that they say is there's a sacrifice. Someone has to give a blood sacrifice, you know. So you see a lot of celebrities. They have people close to them die, which obviously everyone has people close to them die. But but there's a lot of that going on. Like Jay-Z's nephew. Remember Jennifer Hudson when her whole family got shot and murdered and shit like that. Kanye West and his mom. There's a lot of that. If people think you pretty much sell your soul, and then they fucking hook you up with I guess you get free tickets to Disney. Maybe a month of Netflix, I'm guessing. Some shit like that.
Just 1 month free.
A shared account.
You get
the password.
Yeah. So, but then when you look, so I saw the video. First off, I don't listen to Doja Cat. Me and him just saw in preparation for this, we tried to watch a video on the whole situation. So she was tweeting about her fans and shit, right? What was she saying? She was just sounding entitled. Like when you said people who got out of touch when they get celebrity.
Yeah.
And so she blew up on TikTok, and then you can tell she's starting to go that Britney Spears route, shaving her head and fucking, just kind of she was being the way she was tweeting. If you want to pull up a tweet,
she was saying something along the lines of
yeah.
your followers. Somebody said, "Oh, your followers support you and we love you," and she goes, "I don't love you guys. I literally don't know you guys."
Yeah.
And so but fair,
right.
fair. And so then she was telling people unfollow me. Do not follow me. And so they're like, oh, Doja, you've lost 200,000 followers. She goes, I know, I need to. So that's why they're questioning it, because why do you need to lose followers?
I mean, I don't know. It's just...
Right. She sounds like she might just be doubling down on fucking,
Then she dropped that song, and everybody got mad because that song sounds a lot like her other songs. Which I agree, it does, but I'm not a huge Doja Cat fan. I really like this song, so.
But she's already a millionaire, right? So she's got money, she's got fame. Mm-hmm. By her saying, I don't care if I lose followers, what's that do? It makes us talk about it.
Yeah, right, exactly. So makes us talk about it, and but it does kind of lead to your point a little bit, because I think the first thing that she tweeted from when I saw that started the whole thing was that when she was like, oh, my first 2 albums, I didn't really give a fuck about it, just get out the way. And then that kind of opened the door to all this shit, where the fans kind of felt a little betrayed and shit, because they were like, oh, I bang with your albums, I don't know what you're saying. Then that kind of evolved to where it is right now and shit,
Well, I mean, I'm not mad at her, because that's how I'm going to be, in a year or two.
Yeah.
Sup? Fuck y'all, stop unfollowing me.
Tom Segura.
At David Westgate Comedy.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but there is a little bit of I guess they felt I don't know, if you grew up listening to her fucking music and then she's fucking shitting on her older albums, I guess they felt like that was a fucking...
Yeah, you get emotional attached to celebrities and their music.
But then also when you get that big, it's kind of bro, that shit is stressful.
Yeah.
Number one. You got so many fucking fans at that point. You have the whole record industry pumping your music out like a motherfucker. You can lose $250. There must be a little bit of knowing that fuck it. I'm not gonna overnight not be successful anymore or whatever.
I mean, I kind of get it, because I have social anxiety. So, I mean, I know she's on a way bigger scale, obviously, but just more and more people started showing up and wanted to follow me and talk and all this, and I would freak out. Yeah. I'd freak out. Now she's been doing it for a while. I understand that, and
she's burnt out.
She's probably burnt out. Her real personality is just coming back to where it was originally. Probably.
To be clear, she has 25 million followers. He just followed me here. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, right? I have maybe 1,000 followers or whatever it is, and that's fine. But of course, I want more, right? And then when I get it, I'll probably, if I were able to get to that 25 million or whatever she's at, I would probably be like, man, stop following me. You know what I mean? Leave me alone.
Or get a fucking get somebody to manage your social media. Just get off of that shit.
Yeah, that actually.
Yeah, because one of the things that trick, because she was just respond. Anytime you see a celebrity responding to basic ass comments, you'll do your tweet. and then it'll be like these motherfuckers from like Cleveland, Ohio, or somebody just fucking writing a fucking like responding to your tweet with like 2 followers and shit, and then she's responding to that. It's like, bro, once you start arguing with regular motherfuckers on Twitter, that's like, you shouldn't be doing it. It's like, at that point, get a fucking publicist, bitch, or get something.
Or do the Kevin Durant, get a burner account.
Yeah. To talk your shit, talk your shit.
Yeah,
just be a random person defending Doja Cat. You know what I mean?
Doja Cat won. It's not me.
I love it when celebrities aren't allowed to use their own social media accounts, like Adele. Do you know the time I'm talking about? During COVID, I think she posted a picture of her and she looked bad, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, what happened to Adele?" And her publicist said, "You're not allowed to post anymore."
That's crazy.
They were worried about
Adele
her.
posted a picture of herself.
Yeah, it looked. She looked pretty cockeyed, and it was kind of crazy.
Damn, they're like, look,
because she's got a fun personality, and you know what I mean. So I could see her letting loose on those social media.
They thought she got hacked, and she's like, "No, I just was being myself."
This is me.
Shout out to fat chicks,
So that's the thing you have to accept too, right? You're like, all right, all these people love me, but that's not really me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just you
have to accept that too, which kind of sucks.
And they don't love you. I mean, really, per se. I mean,
some people really do.
Some do.
Yeah,
a lot. I would say
Manny doesn't understand love, guys.
Yeah,
like
I don't
the
know
T
what love
Swift
is.
fans that's going on right now, all the like her cult following she has, they love her.
Who's this?
Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah,
Taylor Swift?
Yeah, all of her fans. Yeah, you saying that they don't actually love these celebrities. No, they love her.
That's creepy.
They are following her.
Now, do you guys have a celebrity that you're like, if I met that person, that would be amazing. That's my, you know what I mean? Do you have one celebrity?
Anthony Jeselnik.
Anthony Jeselnik. Okay.
Everybody else, I'm like, me.
One crush that I had always was David Schwimmer from Friends. Ross.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ross. Yeah, I love her.
I'll suck his dick anywhere, bro. I don't even have to be one of his friends. You can do it as acquaintances. I'm okay. You know what
yes,
I mean?
we know, Mandy.
And Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, I was gonna ask you outside of comedy. So,
but like for the most part, I wouldn't be starstruck by a lot of people. So I would say those two for sure.
Those are good.
Is
Those
this
are good.
something you really, really want to meet?
No, actually, I'm not. I've never been big on that. I mean, there's
That's
one.
a question
to
to
set
see
me
how.
up.
I'll probably name somebody, and you guys won't even know who it is.
No, go ahead.
Eric Church.
Well, you're absolutely right.
You guys have no idea who that is.
That's like your Facebook friend.
Exactly.
Eric Church. You know, some guy
He works at the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I was
on
gonna
my
say
house.
Publix. Yeah, he works at.
I'm gonna go in there one day.
Are you Eric Church? Who the fuck is Eric Church? Now you brought it up.
He's a country music singer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty. First off, presumptuous to assume that the Latin guy wouldn't know any country music. You know? That's number one.
How old is he?
Eric Church. He's 40s, I think, late 40s.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I know that guy.
No, but so the guy, he writes his own
46
stuff.
years.
46. So he writes his own stuff, and that's another big reason why I like him. Because the people that come out and they don't write their stuff, you know what I mean? It takes away from it for me.
Right.
There's if so you much write,
oh, it does. I was actually in an argument with somebody the other day. If you sing songs and you don't write your own songs, you are not a singer. You're a vocalist. That at max is what I consider you.
Yeah, I'm on that same
sense.
thinking.
Yeah, you're like an instrument at that point. You're like a guitar or something.
And there's a lot. I mean, it's the majority.
Yeah. A lot. Well, I mean, especially in pop music, man. You see, that's why I wanted to look at that Doja Cat song because I was kind of banging with it. I'm like, did she write this shit?
She writes a lot of her music.
Does she?
She has that one song that's like the cow goes moo or whatever.
Oh, really?
And
She's a great lyricist.
You can tell nobody else fucking wrote that.
Except for the kindergarten class 3 weeks ago.
Quality.
Yeah. She fucked up the cow never went moo.
I do agree with you 100%.
Yeah, it changes it for me. If I know that they're writing, or if they're not writing their own stuff, it makes a difference.
I totally agree with that 100% too. Especially like I said, music is so intimate, man. You know, a lot of times it's like a letter you're writing to people, or like letting your your emotions out and whatever. You know?
Well, I mean, we write all the time, right? So writing your own stuff. It's like if somebody wrote your bits for you. Right? If you knew somebody like I think it's JJ Walker, I don't think he writes his own comedy. Right? That just I don't.
There's no comedians.
I don't want to see that.
Comedians, that's weird.
Yeah, but it still happens. I mean, it still happens. Yeah, it happens. Especially the bigger you get, they're like, I don't have time. I've already made it. Write jokes for me.
Oh, that makes sense.
I mean, it's kind of weird in whatever industry.
I think
it's you're just taking credit for somebody else's work.
I got off stage one day and somebody and like there's a gaggle of comedians and they're like, oh, we have a better what the fuck is it called?
Penis?
Tag?
Yeah, we have a better tag for that joke. And they told me, I go, oh, okay. They're like, yeah, you should use it. I'm like,
that is so. No. I'm okay with workshopping right? If you're in a group and you're talking about it and like, okay, you know, what do you think I should do? Da da da. But when you, because this happened to me too, you get off stage, you're like, you should have said this. I'm like, you should suck my dick. How about that?
Yeah.
Leave me like, I just got off stage. How do you? I had one guy say to me on one of my jokes that is my best joke. It hits really well, and he said you should change it to this. And I was like, I've tried that actually like 3 times before, and it bombed. So how about you?
Yeah,
just
I know. Yeah, I had someone come up to me one time. I did like this one set that at least the one that I to fine tune the most. But that night that I did it, I was just kind of like fucking around, wasn't really on. And I get off stage, and he's like, "Oh, you know, maybe you shouldn't hammer, and maybe you should just don't get committed to a joke if you don't like it. Just you can move on." I'm like, "Bitch, shut the fuck up." I'm like, "This is like my best set." First off, like I've seen it kill plenty. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like suck a dick. But it's always like, I don't know if people are trying. You have to be careful too, bro. I don't know how many people are trying to be helpful versus people just trying to like, you know, in a very cunning way, maybe kind of hold you back a little bit, or you know.
I think that they are trying to be. They think that they're trying to be helpful. Yeah. And that I get that, but trying to force somebody to use something that, like, I won't ever. I might throw you a joke, right? And I'm like, oh, let me hear about it, and you're like, oh, you should switch these 2 things around, because that's happened a lot, and I switched them around and they worked.
Right.
Like that's one thing, but telling me to use your exact tag, I'm like, literally, fuck off.
Okay, let's go to Taboo. Do you feel like there's any difference when you listen to a man or a female comic? Do you approach it differently when you're listening to them at all, or a male or female comic?
Do I approach it differently?
Yeah, I guess like as an audience member, do you?
Yeah, you listen only sometimes when a female's out.
Maddie's convinced that we only listen to.
I don't think I've ever seen a female comic.
I've seen people get on stage, but the whole comedy, the whole comedy thing was
performing.
I just goes Beth. I'm
gone.
like, I thought they were just mad at their husband. What is this lady doing up here? I don't know. I would listen to it to the same. Now I would say when I'm like studying, you know, because I'll load up like YouTubes and I'll watch people. I'll listen to the guys because obviously I can't relate to the women.
Right.
I mean, not to say that I don't watch women's stand up. Like,
okay, you could say it.
Yeah, you're like Wanda. Dude, you're sexist.
No, like Wanda's
like
last special. I thought was awesome. I really loved that one.
Loved her. I've been following
Wanda
her since I was
Sykes?
younger.
I thought, Wanda Sykes. I thought that was awesome. So like, I definitely watch it. But when I'm studying,
you look at the best. Just say you look at the greatest. You look at the fucking top of the patriarchy. You know.
Yeah, I'll watch for 5 minutes, porn for 25, comedy 5.
And then that's all girls. You know, that's
that's when we get back
the best of the best.
Pull the girls back in, the best of the best.
When you're studying your porn, you go to the females. When you're studying your fucking,
100%. So it's a solid strategy.
Yeah, you ever mix the two together, porn and comedy? Two tabs, maybe?
Porn and comedy? Well, I mean, when I have sex, they laugh most of the time. So, probably. Yeah.
I do not remember laughing, but I like it.
Yeah, I always say this thing where I make, like, my jokes are really short, usually. And so I'm convinced that men don't listen to women more than 30 seconds. So that's why I do such short jokes.
So Manny.
What was she saying? Did you guys?
No, I do my jokes the same way. I get too much anxiety though, so I got to get to my punchline fast. Like I can't do stories. Like,
I can't do stories.
You can go long. You go long, right? Sometimes your stories.
Yeah.
Me, I can't do stories. I'm like you, Matt. I got to get to the punchline because I'm like, all right, they need to be laughing, or my anxiety starts going. You're fucking up. You're fucking up.
Yeah.
Oh, see, mine doesn't do that. I just know they stop listening.
Okay.
Because I tried to do story time. I didn't like doing it in the first place, but when I was like halfway through the story, you know, it's like a 5-minute set or whatever, and like I had some things here and there, but I'm like, you guys just don't care.
So
maybe don't read Dr. Seuss next time. You're going through your stories. You know?
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, you could have went a little different.
No, we'll listen to that.
Wait, hold on, wait. There's a bluefish.
And I like the idea of like how we do comedy more than he does. Because
yeah.
You mean funny?
Yeah. You guys are actually funny.
But our jokes are so short. You can also move them around as you wish and please. And when you do a story time, if it's not doing well, you got to commit to that.
You're locked in, and you're fucked.
And you're fucked.
Because abandoning a joke always sucks. You like throwing the white towel. You're like, you know.
Yeah.
It's always a defeatist moment when you.
I tried a couple stories and it was brutal. I was just like, this is not for me. I can't do it.
But do you guys feel like you have? Because another big thing is, and you hear this a lot too with us senior comics. They're like, oh, dude, if you're not doing it for like 5 years, man, you know, you didn't even find your voice yet, or something like that. You know.
No, I disagree.
How far? First off, do you agree with that? And then, where are you at as far as you feeling you finding your footing and your voice?
It's funny because just yesterday I said to myself out loud. I talk to myself a lot, and for a while I was like, yeah, I found my voice, and yesterday I was like, I don't think I found my voice. So I don't know. I'm kind of in between on that. I don't know if it, there's no set time. Obviously, people can find their voice faster than others.
Yeah, and it's experience, and that's always true in every case. It's always like a
and you change, you make tweaks. Like the first year that I did comedy, I didn't completely switch, but I threw away everything.
Yeah.
And it my set is basically over the last 5 months.
Yeah.
My whole
said
set.
he used to be a black woman in last August, right? When you first started, right?
It was August.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I got fired from my
No,
job.
but that's so true, because it's like, for me, I do feel like, oh man, I know I'm not at that place yet. I just know, because I feel like I want to get to when I'm at my funniest, it's like when I'm speaking to people, and I want to get to that point where even now sometimes, like when I say a joke, even the first 2 jokes, and it's not hitting right away, I start to feel that panic. I want to get rid of that panic. I'm like, look, if I'm talking to you guys right now and 2 of my jokes online, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I gotta stop being funny. I just want to be comfortable enough on there where like, and it's a balance, man. It really is, because it's like part of it is performative, and then part of it, at least for the style of comedy I try to do, is like part of it is like letting go and not being natural, so you have to find a balance between, it's the dong. I just got kicked out of my own fucking podcast and shit. But you know what I'm saying? It's like a balance between, all right, it is a performance. And then, so how much do you memorize it? I don't want to be strict,
Same, 100%.
Because when I go out there and when I'm funny, I'm not like rehearsing a script. If I'm telling you a story and it's funny, it's like, okay, I'm hanging out with you. It's funny. I want to remain that cadence, like keep that cadence, but also like still know, how the joke is structured and what parts you go.
Yeah, I want to be able to exactly that and be looser on stage, so like I can jump out a little bit and then jump right back in, right? Because a lot of times if you jump out, you get stuck. You're outside. And you're like, how do I get back into my?
And then it's just like, dude, just whatever, just riff on them or whatever. Just be that comfortable. You know what I mean? So, have you tried fentanyl before, Joe? Because that seems to do the trick.
For me, when I found my voice, like I've noticed, like the first 3 months that I did it, I was a lot more deadpan. I was a lot more deadpan, and I realized that people didn't laugh as much because they thought it was true.
Gotcha.
So over the past like few months, I've gotten more bubbly on stage and just happier. But I yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I think I talked to you about this the one time you were on stage, and I think you were drinking, or maybe you didn't get sleep or something.
I had one drink.
But you were bubbly, and you were like laughing after your own jokes, and I was fucking dying. It was hilarious. You just did a little, because it would be this brutal joke, and then you go,
yeah, that cracks me the fuck up.
This is killing.
Yeah, that's when I changed my style. But the thing is like I killed it, not to brag, a few weeks ago. But the guy came out, one of the other comics, he never saw me before, and he goes, "Oh my god, like I loved, that was such a great set." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." And he goes, "Yeah, you do it in such a weird way because it's professional, but it sounds like a," and I go, "A TED Talk." He goes, "Yeah, like a TED Talk." And so I knew that a few months ago, and I wanted to change it, but like I guess it works, so I'm just gonna keep it, and that's how I'm comfortably on stage. I'm just a TED Talker.
And you're comfortable.
Yeah, that's how I'm comfortable. And I've been told, like, people have told me, like, "Oh yeah, like that's your stage presence, because that's not how you talk." I don't feel any different though. That's just how I react.
That's all that matters. That's good. And hey, you know what? Guess what? If you start doing TED Talks, you're going to get paid. So, you know what I mean?
So fucking good.
Yeah, you'll get bank. Roll with that.
That's funny. So what was, maybe not your worst bomb since you said it, but was there a time where, like, after you got off stage, you're like, man, I really need to, like, has you questioning, like, Jesus Christ? Because to me, I find that there were times for both where I would feel like I'll have a set and I'm like, man, I can actually do this for a living, like if I work hard at it. Then there's times where I have a bad set, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Okay. You fucking suck at everything in life.
You should just quit. You should just quit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time. And now I'm a little bit past that, because I've done some shows and I've done sets where I know are gonna work.
Right.
So, but in the beginning, I would freak out. Like every time, I would do a set, and if every joke didn't work, which they didn't, of course, I would freak out. And then all my drives are an hour at least. So I'm in my car listening back to my set. I'm like, oh, there's a bridge. No. I mean, you think about that. You cannot help but think about that,
And it's cool because just like, listen, it's cool to hear that you keep at it, you know, because no, because you do suck, and it's just, you know, every time I'm just so surprised that you're
The
trying
hardest part is getting up there.
no.
This is a fundraiser, guys.
Yeah. What I mean, you do look like a
You're
former
so, what did they say? Oh, you're so brave.
Yeah, you're so free. Yeah.
No, but no, what I'm saying
Is
is
John Cena gonna bust through that door?
Yeah,
It's over.
Make a wish. It's like, Jesus, you're still alive. No, what I'm saying, it's cool to see you overcome that, because it's something that, like, everyone, she's still laughing at it. I'm trying to fucking.
Yeah. Is this a bit?
No, I'm trying not
That's
to be.
the best part
Man
about
fucking
it.
loves it. You know, I'm just saying, no, listen, because we all go through that. Like, it's something that every comic is going to go through, you know, and those are the times where you literally have a decision, like, yo, let me stop or keep going, you know?
You have to double down and keep
and
going.
to double down on that and just get better. Then you go back to the comedy club and no one gives a fuck that you bombed last week.
They don't.
You know, it's like...
They don't even remember you were there. Oh, you were here?
Yeah, you were here, exactly. Right? So you go back out there and it's just like, it's a metaphor of, like, you know, exactly. You go through tough times, you know, so many times you want to veer off the bridge.
Yeah.
You know? And then you...
Not because of comedy. There's
No,
a lot
not
of other
really.
Yeah, a
reasons.
lot of reasons for that.
And you either keep going or you find a local Circle K, you go behind the back, you find a hooker that you can blow for, you know.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
That's in addition to. That's,
Yeah. Those are only certain open mics.
But yeah, like I said, my first year of the stuff I did, I threw it all away. Because you know they say, you know the same. I think we've talked about this before. It's like, you know, kill your babies, right? That's the saying. Kill your babies. You're gonna fall in love with some of your jokes. They're your babies, but sometimes you just gotta kill them. You gotta kill them. You gotta get rid of them.
Gabby, I got a daughter. You hear that, Gabby? I'm coming for you. Sorry.
I don't. And what's sad is, like, I know that's gonna happen, but I really like my babies.
It's tough.
There's
Like I
so
said,
much-
I did a whole year and I threw it all away, except maybe one joke, maybe one, and I tossed it all away. And I'm glad I did. I'm so glad I did.
Because you spend so much time fine tuning a particular joke, and then and then you, at least the way I approached it was like, try to do 5 minutes, get 5 minutes clean, you know. Because at first I just kept trying new shit completely. You know, I guess it's like that for a lot of people when they first hop on. You're just trying new shit over, and then I was like, okay, just focus on 5 minutes, get that really clean.
Yeah.
Once I got those 5 minutes really clean, move on to the next stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But then it's almost like, okay, you finally got it clean, for what? Yeah, so you can fucking move on to the next stuff, you know? And then someone told me that's how you build your 20 minutes, you know? So you have clean 5 minutes, then you hammer the other 5 minutes, and then, you know, and then you'll have like a clean 20 minutes.
It's a good way.
You know?
Not everybody does it that way.
I don't
But
do
It was
that
just
way.
one way that I was advised on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
You know what sucks though is, like, people in comedy will give you like stuff like that. I've been told so many times by, like, people above me, they're like, oh, everything you're doing is wrong. This is how you're gonna want to do it. And I'm like, so I'm not gonna do it that way because I don't want to. And second of all, you told me so.
Canadian.
Now, Matt,
Canadian as
are you
fuck
talking
on
about sex or are you talking about comedy?
Oh, yeah, or sex.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Just yes.
Somebody above me. All right. It's just all.
There's so
I'm
many
glad
people
we got
above
down
me.
to that. There's so many commonalities.
You told me to do it that way.
Yeah, no, it's always a fine line, bro. And trying to fucking listen to people. I was always told, don't take criticism from someone you won't take advice from. You know.
Or I like to think I try not to take advice from, like, almost anybody. And this is
I agree with that.
This sounds bad, but, like, because Anthony Jeselnik said people who give you advice, especially in comedy, wants you to be more like them. And so I only take advice from people who I want to be more like.
Oh, that's sweet. That's why you always tell me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's why I've never taken anything from you.
You know? Yeah, she's always
Just as virginity.
telling me to fuck off.
But I think there's a lot of truth behind that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I was 16 when I lost my virginity.
Oh, so it's forever ago?
How old were you when you found it? That's you know. I don't mean to get too philosophical here. You know.
When I found the virgin?
No, when you. Well, unfortunately, I've been deflowered by our last guest. So, you know, or Nick, I should say.
Hey, you were how old when you lost your virginity?
I was 16 when I lost my virginity.
16. I was like 15 and a half.
Oh yeah, I'm lying. This was like 2 weeks ago. Actually, you know. No,
All right, was it the dolphin?
You were 15 and a half. Yeah.
I was,
the dolphin had me pinned up against the wall. All the lights.
I think about it often.
Still fresh in his mind.
Yeah. It's a noise. It's just a wet flapping noise.
Yeah, 15 and a half.
My murder. Huh?
About 15. Yeah, 15 and a half.
Oh, I got lucky. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I guess whatever. Fuck it. I got lucky. I lost my I lost my virginity to a threesome. You know, there was me and two other guys. You know. No. I guess we want to talk about it. We all got to open up. You too, Nick. Even though you know. Listen, but we Yeah, no, because all right, when I was younger, I was a little in shape. I was like 16 and shit. I was like a little in shape. I was more of like a pretty boy and all that shit, you know.
What?
And I was in Philly, and man, there was this one girl that lived across the street from me. I thought she was pretty hot, right? But I guess she saw me like going to the store to Bodega one time when I got her number and shit, right? But I always wanted to talk to her and shit, bro. And for some reason, she was just a freak, and she was just adamant. As soon as I told her I was a virgin, she was just adamant on taking that shit, you know. Shit. So one time I'm like, you know, I kind of regret, honestly, if I'm being truthful, I kind of like regret the way I lost it a little bit. But not to be like a little bitch about it, you know. But it wasn't that special, you know. I felt like, you know,
there was no candles lit.
I should have waited a little more, you know. I mean, gosh. But then I know, but we yeah. So then we mapped out the date and shit, and then her friend had cut school with her, and then we went upstairs. I took off my pants. They immediately got dissuaded, and they left. And that was, you know,
that was it.
Yeah, but no, in a nutshell, I won't get into any more detail, I guess. But the dog also got involved too, so I guess we could
a lot of peanut butter.
Yeah.
And now, how old were they?
They were, I guess we were all around the same age. I think she was a little older, if I'm not mistaken, but not by much. We were all like 18, 17, 16, around there. Maybe I was raped. Maybe I was raped.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's a statutory rape. Or
Okay. I don't know how I feel right now. Wow. I feel, this is different. This is a revelation right now. I'm a rape victim.
It was probably your fault.
I'm a rape victim.
Yeah. She's right. It was 100% your fault.
Yeah.
Boom, roasted.
Should have been just sitting there looking at your butthole. That just
yeah. It's awfully dark in there. How did you, all right, so do you mind sharing about?
Mine's boring. Like, you don't want to hear,
well,
like, mine.
Just because it was a priest doesn't mean it's boring. I like her, you know? Go ahead.
No, yeah, mine was pretty boring. Like, I was a very romantic guy back then. Very jaded now, but back then I was very romantic. So I had a girlfriend at the time. My parents were out. So I had her come over, and I set up the house. I did the whole candles thing. I did a letter. I did a dance, a song. I did all this shit.
Dance?
Well, me dance. It wasn't just me. I was just like,
Jazz Square.
Thank you for catching
American Pie.
A dance. Did you choreograph it, or like how did it?
Was it the American Pie dance?
There was pie.
I made it.
Yeah, in the fridge.
Yeah. So and then it ended upstairs, and this is where it takes the turn. It ended up upstairs in my parents' room, on their waterbed that have mirrors all the way across the top.
Oh, you got. Ooh. Did your parents know this?
No, they don't.
All right, I will make a YouTube short just for this, and make sure to tag
you
your
nasty
folks
bitch.
on this, you know?
I'm good with it. That just means I'm getting more high fives from dad.
Yeah. If your parents came home like, I know this is a waterbed, but it feels awfully wet today. I don't know what's going on here. You know?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
funny.
so that was it.
So your parents were freaks, by the way. I mean, they had a waterbed and the mirrors up top.
I think that's that era. It's not that they were freaks.
Yeah. Well, my dad got it. My
Carface era.
My dad got it and didn't tell my mom. He was just like, he got it. It was just, that's our bed now. And I was like, what the fuck?
It came with a divorce. You know?
Yeah. It's just like, here's this big. It took up the whole fucking room.
Do you remember how happy she was about that?
She was pissed. But
So
I didn't get in trouble from weeks from dad. It's like, I was good.
Unconsensual waterbed.
Yeah.
That's a.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like your dad. That's
Yeah,
some
and
Me
I
Too stuff right
I remember because you had the mirrors, so you had over top, and he had all his Playboys over top up there. So I would
What?
step on the ledge, grab a Playboy, go to the bathroom.
Your dad set the stage for you.
Yeah,
He's hell yeah. That dude's like, as soon as he was that, it's like we're having it in my dad's room.
Yeah.
Fucking shackles, dildos.
I learned a lot. It's funny though. It's because I had an older brother, and this was always funny. I have an older brother. Okay. And I just remember, like, before I understood what, like, going through puberty and stuff was when I was younger, and he was going through puberty, and I just remember him always being in the bathroom for so long.
We talked about that, too.
and so what we would do, me and my brother, we didn't know why, but we would do it because we would get a reaction, and we would always go up and just jiggle the handle. You know, and you would hear it, and he would go, somebody's in here every time. And then I got older, and I was like, oh.
That's what that is.
That's what's going on.
Is there any more things we had on that list?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah, we got plenty right now.
Yeah,
so
I think it went well. All right,
Well, I guess Maddie's very eager to kick you the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So, you know.
She's going to be a bitch and a half to edit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the porn and she wanted to bail. What's up, man?
I know.
I'm trying to get out of here without telling me.
Oh, yeah.
She was up next
You got
too.
Maddie's virginity story. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, no wonder she wants to wrap
Well played.
All right, guys, this is You Can't Say That. Good talk.
Good motherfucking talk.
Good talk.
All right.
Well.
Don't say it.
This is David.
Yeah.
What's your last name?
Westgate.
Oh my God, Westgate.
Westgate, not whiskey.
Yeah, David Westgate.
I've been called whiskey several times, though.
Maddie, Maddie thought we invited Danny Whiskey. She's like super.
Whiskey Dan.
I did a show in the host. It was with a headliner with Tanya Lee Davis, and the host brought me up as David Whiskey.
David Whiskey?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of a
Nice.
wicked name.
Yeah, it is. It's just not mine. Yeah.
I don't know who